Bob Proctor inspired a lot of people, but he specifically helped a lot of people, and I was one of them. Back in 1999, I was making a name for myself as a marketer. I had come out with books with the American Management Association, American Marketing Association. I had my first program with Nightingale Conant, The Power of Outrageous Marketing, and people were noticing me, and they were thinking of me as a marketer and copywriter. And Bob Proctor reached out to me, wanted to meet me, invited me to come to his seminar that he was doing in Denver. And so this is around 99. And I went to it, and I thought, well, he's giving me this profound gift. I get to meet him, other people. I get to go to his event. And I thought I should give him something. And I had an unpublished pamphlet that I was kind of hiding. It revealed the spiritual side of me, which I didn't really want people to know about at the time. I was working for all these conservative business companies and thought I might damage my rising star by saying, hey, I'm into woo-woo. And I gave the little booklet to Bob Proctor as a gift. I just said, this isn't published, but I wanted to thank you in some way. And he read it, and my God, he changed my life forever. He got on stage in front of 300 people, and he said, Joe Vitale was in the audience, but he just handed me his new book. And the book isn't published yet, but you're all going to want it. And he said the title, which was Spiritual Marketing. He said, I read it. I want to publish this book. He announced he wanted to publish it. He says, I want to record this book. And I was red-faced, embarrassed, because I thought, I'm not prepared for this. 250 people mobbed me. They all wanted the book. And I said, the book doesn't exist. There was a publisher there, and he says, I'll publish the book. And I said, they haven't even read it. He said, Bob Proctor read it. If Bob Proctor likes it, he's raving about it, I'll publish it sight unseen. The book got published. The book, with a groundswell grassroots movement, became my first bestseller on Amazon. The New York Times was writing about discovered books and mentioned spiritual marketing, my book that Bob Proctor had discovered and announced and embarrassed me with. And then a big publisher called me up and said, hey, we're hearing about this book called Spiritual Marketing. We want to republish it, but we want to change the title. And they offered me a nice deal. It was a turning point in my publishing career. It's a big publisher. It's the same publisher who published Moby Dick for Melville back in the 1800s. So I was in the line of the greats. And we came up with a new title, and the new title was The Attractor Factor, which is still today my #1 self-help bestseller. But the story doesn't even end there, because the Attractor Factor ended up being a bestseller, partly because I was applying some outrageous marketing to it to make it a bestseller, partly because Bob Proctor was telling everybody about the book, and he wrote the foreword to Spiritual Marketing, so he associated himself with it. And then I get a phone call from a woman in Australia who said, I just read this book called The Attractor Factor, and I'm going to make a movie about the law of attraction, and I was wondering if you'd be in it. And I almost said no, because I was hearing from people who had dreams but never acted on them. And I thought, if you get it together, and I told her, I said, if you get it together and you have your script or whatever you need to make this movie real, give me a call. And of course she did. And of course the movie was The Secret. And of course I'm in it. And of course it changed the trajectory of my life. Most people today don't even know I have a marketing background. Now they think of me as the secret guy, the spiritual teacher, the self-help guy. But I swear to God, that would not be happening. It would not be here today if it was not for Bob. Bob believed in me before I believed in me. And this is what I mean. He didn't just inspire me. He frickin' did something.
I'm not Bob at all. Bob is my name. It's not me. I say, well, this is me. No, this is my body. You never hear anyone say am hand or am body. They say my body, my hand, my name. Who am I? I am a soul. I don't have one. I am one. And the soul is forever seeking its awareness of its oneness with that which is. It's just awareness. That's all we're ever seeking. And as we develop a greater awareness, it's reflected in our life. People don't earn 100,000 a year because they want 100 a year. They're earning 100 a year because they're not aware of how to earn 100 a month. People are not alone and lonely because they like being alone and lonely. They're alone and lonely because they're not aware of how to develop meaningful relationships. It's all in awareness. Well, we've got to understand we are spiritual beings living in a physical body, and we've been gifted with an intellect. But all the power there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. The answer to anything is already here.
I study every day. I study the works of the masters. I really do. And I have a plaque on my wall. It's by Michelangelo. He said, I am still learning. We're dealing with infinite knowledge. There's no end to it. Whatever we've got, we're scratching the surface. We've got to stay current. If we don't stay current, we're going to fall behind.
Get a real good book and lock into that book and start to study it. Like, I've had this one that looks like a Bible, you know. But this is Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. I've been reading this thing now for 23 years. I'll probably read it for another 23 years. I got another good book that I brought over here today. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Now, I'm not getting a commission for selling this. The author's dead now. He's been gone for a couple of years. But Dr. Joseph Murphy wrote this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And that's probably one of the best books that you're ever going to find, because you're going to learn something about your mind when you read this book.
You've got to change your paradigm if you want to change your life. Now, you can study all you want. If you don't gain an understanding how to alter that program, and that's what the paradigm is, it's a program. It's a multitude of concepts that are fixed in your subconscious mind that literally control your behavior. It's a beautiful concept to understand. It's a terrible one if you don't understand it, because it literally controls your life. Why do you think most people go right through their life and keep getting the same results year after year after year? Well, it's just the way it is, and they don't know. We should be taught this in school, but we're not. How is the paradigm formed? Through the repetition of information. How's the paradigm changed? Repetition of information.
And the whole universe operates by laws, and there's a law of opposites. It's called the Law of Polarity. Everything has its opposite. There's a right and a left side. Mm-hmm. There's a front and a back, an up and a down, a hot and a cold, positive and negative, yin the yang. You know, well, you can think negative or you can think positive, but you can't think both at the same time. You're only going to think one way at one time. And we have to train our mind to think or look for the positive or the good in things. There's good in everything. There's no such thing as no good.